Hello and welcome back to my channel, and thanks for rejoining me with my Holmes Basic Dungeons & Dragons solo campaign. We returned to the Tower of Zenopus. Our characters had been ascending a staircase in what they have ascertained to be the Magician's Tower. They had quite a confrontation with a large snake-like creature, a giant serpent of enormous proportions. It leashed out at our heroes. They managed to repel it. Vera, our elf, showed some splendid bow skills, and she had the killing blow with her bow. We are feeling quite buoyed by the entire episode. I had a schematic of the room that we were in. We were ascending the staircase. Weberan, our barbarian, had been leading the ascent. We had Argenta, effectively like a bit of a paladin kind of knight. We had Farah, the hero of the day, with her bow, the elf. Beska Miltar, our sturdy magic user with his +1 dagger, and Candela, our cleric, our doughty cleric with the lantern. Weberan had just managed to push the trapdoor that was at the top of these stairs open. He peeked in and he saw another equivalent of this room. It was empty. So that is where we have left our characters. Just a bit of housekeeping before we kick off. And I did, the Dungeon Master says, right, I think there was one thing I had to determine from the last episode, and I had been promising to do this, was the experience points that you have accumulated. And I don't know if this is the correct juncture to do this, but I'm going to do it now anyhow. I have calculated the mighty sum of 363 experience points between all 5 of you. So if we do that divided by 5, that means that you are on 73 experience points each. And that includes the treasure that we had. So basically we have slain 5 goblins, 3 rats, 1 giant spider, and 1 giant snake. And we've also liberated from the Tower of Zenopus 1,000 silver pieces, which translates as 100 gold pieces. We have a +1 magic dagger, but that's not count for experience. So we have not really accumulated that much. It's certainly not going to get us up any levels quick. I think the earliest that we're going to get send into a higher level will be our cleric, Candela, who will be, I think, requiring 1,500 experience points to go up. But it'd be quite useful to get Candela up quite quickly because she is a cleric and she would have some healing. The things that we've still got in our inventory, we've still got 3 potions of healing left. We have, remember we purchased 2 hand axes, we had a dagger that we also got from the storekeeper, and Beska Miltar managed to give Argenta another dagger, so she has 2 throwing daggers. I don't really have anything else on my list, so I think we can proceed as planned. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, right, Weberan, what is your plan? Weberan says, well, I think we should just proceed up into this room and see what happens. So we will do that, and as if by magic, we appear at the bottom of the staircase in probably in this position here, and there is another staircase spiraling up on the opposite wall in a similar configuration as this. So the only difference that we're going to have is that there's no exit here, and this will be all wall. But there is a door over here. And so the Dungeon Master says, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe this room. And this is the ground floor of the Magician's Tower, entered through the trapdoor in the floor. There is a door to the north and a spiral stair leading up, just like the one in the room below, ending in a trapdoor in the ceiling. Okay, And we say, well, Dungeon Master, is there anything else in this room? And he says, well, there is a fireplace, there are cooking utensils, and a few chairs scattered around. So it does seem like quite a homely kind of setting. We also hear what sounds like a bit of a rumble of noise and chatter. And Webran says, okay, well, shall I try this door? And he says, actually, this door is open. And to his surprise, to his consternation, it actually opens onto onto the street outside. And this is a street in the town of Port Haven. Who would have believed it? This tower actually extends up into the town of Port Haven. I really don't know who the geographer was for this adventure, but they've really done some amazing things by placing this complex underneath the town. But we are at street level in this room, where Baran can see out onto the street. And he says, well, I think we have come across a bit of another entrance. This is like the abode of someone that knows about this dungeon. Is this basically almost like a trapdoor to get in? I think we've made a bit of a discovery here, and we concur. And the dungeon master says, right, do you want to do any more searching or whatever? And we'll say, well, what we'll do is we'll actually map that. So that's going to take another, we're already up to 6 because we weren't going to have a wandering monster check because we didn't think that there would be a kind of a chance of having a wandering monster in that situation. So I think what we'll just do, it will ignore the wandering monster check from the previous 3 turns, and we'll just move on to fresh. So I'm going to say that's going to take about a turn to do all our mapping there. We've got a bit of a decision on our for the party. Are we going to ascend these stairs again, or descend back down into the dungeon and continue our exploration? I think we are probably buoyed by the enthusiasm of finding this quite astonishing discovery, or making this astonishing discovery, the fact that we've found this other entrance into the Tower of Zenopus. Who would have known? Maybe this will be worth some money to the captain of the guards too, and to some of the local officials. But let us continue with the adventure. So we'll ascend the staircase. We'll have Weberan in the lead. We'll have Argenta and Farah, Beskid Miltar, and Candela. And we will ascend this staircase. We don't really need any light because we realize that this is illuminated inside. So our lantern can be effectively extinguished for the time being. So that is what we do. We ascend this staircase. We get to a trapdoor. We peer through the trapdoor. It is open. And the dungeon master describes what appears to be the 3rd level of this tower. So the dungeon master says, just above the ground floor and shaped the same, and also with a spiral stair leading to the roof, but with no doors, and a narrow 2-foot wide tall windows in each wall. So there's not going to be a door this time. Let's say that is sealed up, but there are basically narrow windows on each of the walls. So imagine you have a narrow window letting the light in. This appears to be the wizard's study. So if we move into this room here, it gives off the appearance of being a wizard's study. So there are 2 giant volumes of magic spells, a table, lamps, chemicals, skulls, loose pages of parchment, mystic designs on the floor. Against the south wall, so against this wall here, there is an ape in an iron cage. Well, that is quite a discovery. So there's this cage here. And what we'll do is we'll say that there's an ape inside it. So we'll have this as our ape. So we're kind of ranged around. We're looking through the items on the wizard's table. There's a spell book which Beskar Miltar is really quite enamored with, and he's poring over. In fact, there are two spell books, I think, from the description. Yep. Candela's maybe peering through the windows, looking out and saying, "Wow, you get a fantastic view of Port Haven from these windows." We're on the second story now. This really is quite a fascinating discovery, this Wizard's Tower. And the fact that we have come across all this information here too. Potentially, if we do a good search, who knows, maybe we will discover something else, something to do with the Amulet of Power. So let us get back to the ape in the iron cage. There is a key in his lock, so there is a lock here. There is a key. The lock of the cage door. The ape is just staring at us. It looks quite disgruntled. It looks quite miserable. It is not happy. What are we going to do? Are we going to release this ape? Do we feel quite sorry for it? Do we feel that it should be released, or should we keep it under lock and key? And maybe think, well, this could be a dangerous animal. Do we really want to let it go? Should we perform a search of this room first? Well, I think what we'll do is we'll actually search the room and map it. So that's going to take another turn to do that. The Dungeon Master says, well, there is a large table, and there do seem to be drawers. There's all sorts of things on the top. There's loose pages of parchment, which we are looking through. Are we going to do some searching? And you'll say, well, why don't you roll a percentage dice, and I will tell you whether you have been successful in locating a certain item. And we do this. So we know as let us get inside the head of the Dungeon Master. He's saying the magic user. This obviously is a magic user's abode. He keeps his wand of petrification hidden in a secret compartment of the table, and there is only a 5% chance of locating this compartment. Okay, so let's say we're doing a bit of a search. 5% chance, so we can't find the wand of petrification. So that's hidden for the time being. Also hidden among the undecipherable parchment notes on the table is a scroll which reverses the wand's effect, but only for one person and only once. So Beskar Miltar, who is our trained magic user, he says, I have discovered this scroll. It has inscriptions in it, which seems to point to almost like a remedy, an incantation that we can recite if one of us is petrified by a wand of petrification. But I can see no trace of that on this table. I do not understand why we would have this scroll unless there is potentially a wand of petrification in this dungeon complex. So if we just note down that we found the scroll, and also while we are searching, and we're going to do quite a detailed search, so I think this is going to take us 3 turns in total. So we're up to 3 turns. Let's take one of our characters randomly. So Weberan to Argenta, and we'll just do a D6, and I will determine which one triggers to this new discovery. So we've got Farah. So Farah is probably quite well qualified. She's an elf. She's into all this kind of arcane stuff, and she says, "Oh, I've found another compartment in this this table. It has this parchment inside, and within the parchment falls out a sealed letter, and the sealed letter is bearing a red wax sigil of a serpent around a flame." So are we going to open this letter? I think we should. Within the letter, it is written in very neat but arcane writing. "To my faithful apprentice, the amulet of power must not remain here. The watchers grow suspicious, and Zenopus Tower stirs again. Deliver it to Thalison, the gatekeeper. Speak of it to no one. Signed, Magus." Ooh. Have we made the discovery? Have we found the secret? The secret in the Tower of Zenopus of the Amulet of Power. We are quite excited by this, and we really feel that this is of significance. We have to take this back to Amafrey Vane and show it to her and see what she thinks. Potentially this is going to be worthy of a reward. This is the first time we've had a sign of the Amulet of Power in this complex. I think that is probably worthy of not a song, but of some form of celebration. We've also made this quite radical discovery of another entrance into the dungeon, and the fact that this pops up inside the town. Maybe the officials of the town might be quite concerned at the fact that they have another access to this Tower of Zenopus, and it's not just restricted to the outskirts of Port Haven, but it's actually popping up inside their town. So they might have a few disgruntled looks after we give them this information. What else are we going to do? Are we going to return back down into the dungeon? What are we going to do with this ape? Are we going to release it? It does seem to be, it's almost starting to whimper a bit. It's started to pine. Is one of us going to be soft-hearted enough to do that? So I would say on a 1 to 4, one of the characters pipes up and says, "Look, should we not just release it? It's obviously being used for some dreadful experimentation. A 1 to 4, and we will release it." So yes, and who would probably be soft-hearted enough? And it's Farah again, and she says, "I feel quite sorry for this ape." And what she does, she goes up and she turns the key, and the Dungeon Master says, "Well, that is very soft-hearted of you, Farah. However, this ape isn't really what it is. Angry. It is an angry ape, and in fact, I will read you the a little extract. Against the south wall, there is an ape in an iron cage. The key is in the lock of the cage door. The ape is 2 hit die and is armor class 7, and will attack as soon as he gets out. He hates the cage and has been waiting to get even." So he doesn't. I think he really is a bit intense about the magic use that has kept him here, but he is angry, almost like angry with the world. So what he will do is he will attack anyone who opens the cage and try to escape through one of the windows. So he's going to jump out, and I would say that the strongest chance he has is to attack the one that tries to open the cage, but there is also the chance that he maybe just tries to jump past and maybe attacks one of the other characters as he tries to leap out of this window here. So let us do a bit of a probability, and we'll say 1 to 2, it's Farah, 3, it's Weberan, 4, it's Besca-Miltar, 5, it's Candela, and 6, it is Argenta. So strongest probability, Farah, but he might just jump past. So it's going to be, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he jumps past, he almost maybe pushes Farah out of the way. He kind of bounds out. He claws at Candela as he tries to force his way past. So he's a 2-hit dice monster, and Candela has got armor class of 4. And a 2-hit dice monster against armor class 4 is against armor class 4, 2-hit dice monster is 15. So he needs a 15 to hit Candela. Now the downside with Candela is that she hasn't really got very high hit points. So one swipe, and we'll say that he does 1 to 6 points of damage, will cause her death, potentially. So it doesn't, it basically a bit of a, maybe it almost like bounds into her and maybe knocks her off kilter, almost knocks himself, the ape, over to one side, and it clumsily climbs up and launches itself through the window and down onto the street. So the ape is gone. Luckily, Candela has survived that ape attack. That was quite a frightening experience. Well, I would say we've made a few discoveries in this tower, the top level. We'd say to Weberan, why don't you try this spiral staircase? There does seem to be a trapdoor at the top. So he pops up this here. However, he says it's sealed and it is not open at all. The only way out of this this circular, almost like the top level of this tower, is to get through these windows. They are too small for us. You know, this ape managed to squeeze its way through. We would need some form of halfling or whatever, like a gnome or whatever, to get through this. It's not going to work for us. What we decide to do is we're not going to take some of the wizard's documents or the spell book. We'll leave that there. We think potentially we can use this as bait for if this wizard is still loose in the complex. What we want to do is maybe make it look as though we have not disturbed the place and that there was an accident or something. The ape managed to turn the key and used its senses and escaped by itself. So we try to reconstitute the place as much as possible, and almost in a kind of a counterinsurgency manner. And I would say that's going to take another turn to do all this type of stuff. So we're on 4 turns. We're on the top level of this tower. We are going to descend back down. We'll go back down to the next level, which is the ground floor. That's the one that had the door out into the complex, into the town. And then we go down the next level, which was where we originally were. And if we refer back to my dungeon map, this was this room here where we came in. And remember, there is a secret door in this thing that we have not detected yet. So because we go back down the staircase, I would say that there is a bit of a chance that Farah could maybe just do that thing that the elves do. And on a 1 or a 2, she might be able to detect the staircase. So we'll just do that one more time, and just to make sure that there's no meteoric discovery. So Farah says, I have a sensation. As I am coming down these stairs, and we're just trooping back down, she thinks, I beneath this staircase, I am going to, when I get down to the bottom, I am going to do some more investigation. And lo and behold, she discovers a secret door. So there is a secret door, and the Dungeon Master says, yes, Farah, well done. You have discovered that there is a secret door underneath this staircase in the east wall. And it's if we just do a bit more searching, we'll be able to work out its mechanism, and we'll say we'll go up to 5 on that. So we've been able to work out how this operates, exactly how to open it. We'll get, I think we'll get into our marching order again, which was Weberan, Argenta, Vera, Candela, and Beska Miltar, in that kind of almost like a cross formation. We'll get Beska Miltar to push the door open and see what is on the other side. And the Dungeon Master says, right, what you see before you is a corridor, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100 feet. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 along here, and it ends in a door. Okay. So are we going to proceed down this corridor? There is this other door that we could try too, or are we going to? And this will take us back into the complex, or it looks as though. So we're not progressing any further, but we've already made some pretty astounding discoveries already in this tower. Maybe this will validate some of the information that we've already discovered. You know, where is this wizard? Where is this this individual that we are looking for? Is he lurking in this dungeon somewhere? Okay, well, I think what we'll do is we will map this, and this will take, we do 120 feet every turn that we can do mapping. So basically that's almost going to take us up to another turn. And just for the sake of argument, I think, and being extra careful, I'll say that that is. So we've been down, that's 1 hour. We've been down 2 hours down the Tower of Zenopus. That is quite a time. Right, we have a door that we need to try to get through. Are we going to do the usual thing where we put Weberan up and need a 1 or a 2? I think we will. I think we'll get Weberan to try to push the door. Or should we listen on the other side? Maybe that might be a better, be a bit more cautious and find out what is. And if we listen, a 1 or a 2, a 1 for a human, or a 1 or a 2 for an elf. So what we'll do is we'll get Farah to try to listen and see if she can hear anything on the other side before we get Weberan to do what Weberan likes to do. Oh, she does hear something. Okay, so the Dungeon Master has to consult his key, and he looks it up and he says, right, okay, yes. So what Farah can hear is some very faint, it almost sounds like incantations or muttering, and you know, she says, I think I can hear. It sounds like a human that is making. Yes, I think incantations, or and he is muttering, low mutterings. That is all I can make out. So this, whatever is on the other side of this door, is occupied by someone. Potentially, this could be the magic user. We must use caution, I would say. So, are we going to try to surprise this magic user, or now that we know where its location is, maybe we could just leave him there just now? That is the question. I think it's really going to come down to a decision of the characters. Do they feel that they can take on a magic user, or Are they wanting to maybe try to get back to this to his tower, get back up to the ground floor, exit, take the letter back to I'm Afraid Vane, and explain, cash the reward in, and maybe return back, and then try to confront the wizard? Or is this too much of a high risk strategy? What happens when the wizard returns to his laboratory and finds that the ape has escaped? Yes, maybe we should confront this wizard. Maybe that is what needs to be done. It is a bit of a quandary. He could be powerful. He could have all sorts of magic. We found that scroll, remember, of petrification, reversal. What if he has a wand of petrification and turns one of us to stone? Maybe he is too powerful for us to... all these things are running through the minds of the characters as they are standing, just because the fact that they have potentially heard something that sounds a bit like the mutterings and incantations of a magic user. I think maybe they are just, they just feel too much, almost fear of the situation. They don't think that... basically, let's say Weberan says, I have a bad feeling about this. I despise sorcery, and I do not wish to come up against the owner of this tower. He seems to be a dangerous and malevolent entity. Let us desist from this and see whether we can make any further discoveries elsewhere. We know where this individual is. We know about this tower. We have information. He is not aware of us now. Maybe that is a better situation to be in. So, based on Farah doing this quite extensive reconnaissance, and we're quite fortunate in her being able to hear these things. Not only has she discovered the secret door leading to this passage, which goes to some room that this wizard's in, she has actually heard him in the middle of his experiments or his incantations, and that was quite fortunate for us. So what we decide to do is we decide to retrace our steps back to this room here, and proceed further forward, and we could maybe go through this door here and see what is beyond. I think maybe that is what we will do. Yes, and I think we are feeling quite anxious. The fact that we know that there is a presence of this wizard here, and we decide to maybe abandon a bit of caution and really just try to force the door and get through and escape. So let's have Weberan and Argenta try to force the door at the same time. So we'll have Weberan with the white dice, Weberan with the red dice, and Argenta with the white. So they can't push it. They give it another shot. So Argenta manages to get it. So the door opens, and the Dungeon Master says, right, okay, you go through this door and you're in it. There's a long corridor that goes either way. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this goes all the way along to almost the same level as here and ends in a door. Hopefully you can see that. I'll make sure that that's on the screen and you can see that. And on the other side, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this will go off. So this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this goes off my map, and I have to go and find my other map, which was in my Holmes Basic folder. Revert back to my map, and you get to see all my notations. And we have this one. So let's just get that map out. this is me getting caught short slightly by the geography of this dungeon. And you will recall that we, if we can just ignore this this band here, this was us in the catacombs here, and this was the passage that led into the catacombs. And we'd also had, I think that was the spider room that we were fighting, that giant spider that was up in the vaulted ceiling. I get the opportunity to join up my map again. So it is going to be, what did we say it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to go along another 2 here. So real-time mapping here, and it ends in a door. And this Tower of Zenopus, it really is quite a sprawling complex. It's, you know, I didn't really think it was a very large dungeon, but it's actually turning out to be quite a complex. So we have a choice. We could either go this way, back towards into the, you know, eastwards, the way that we came in, or are we going to go further to the west and explore further into the depths of the dungeon? We have a choice. I will say 1 to 3, it's going to be east. 4 to 6, it'll be west. So it's going to be west. So we're going to head up this one here, and I am just looking at the time. What I think I'm going to do with my Holmes Basic is I'm going to give it a bit of a turbocharge and have a few episodes back to back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut it at this point and continue with an episode quite shortly just after this. And we can continue to explore. We can also maybe contemplate just some of the discoveries we've made, because today we have made quite a few interesting discoveries. We've found out that we've found this magician's tower. We've found this fragment, this letter that has been written concerning the amulet of power. We've also got a bit of a stash of some findings in the top level of the tower itself, and also you know, this ape that we have released. You know, it is at large in Porthaven. You know, what mischief and hazard is it causing to the locals? The fact that this tower is popping up inside Porthaven is quite a discovery too. So we've got to maybe process all that data. Let us, now that we've found this this other passage, let us see what is beyond this door in our next episode, and to continue with our adventures down the Tower of Zenopus. I think that's probably a better strategy for today. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we can find out exactly, you know, maybe prize out more of the secrets of the Tower of Zenopus in the next adventure.